Hi, welcome to a new lesson. I'm Niharika. At times when you watch these American TV shows and movies, do you get a little confused or fail to understand certain phrases that they use? Do you think they use some kind of a secret language? Well, not really. It's just different workplace idioms and phrases that they end up using. So that's what we're going to learn today. Some idioms and phrases and slangs that are a little commonly used in corporate world. So let's have a look here. The first one that we have is to axe someone. Now, to axe someone is not literally pick up an axe and hit him with it. Well, to axe someone is to get fired or to get terminated from their employment, okay? So, for example, Jane got axed because she was caught stealing from the company, or Jane got axed because she was found using social networks during working hours. Okay, so that's how you can use this. We have another one for you that is back to the drawing board. Now, to go back to the drawing board means to start all over again. So maybe the previous project or the previous plan failed, so you have to start it all over again. So rather than saying that to start all over again, you can use this idiom that, oh, I gotta go back to the drawing board. So, for example, if you have to use this in a sentence, you can say, well, I worked really hard on this project, but my boss rejected it, so I'll have to go back to the drawing board. Okay, so this means that I'll have to start this all over again. Okay, then another one that we have is back to the salt mines. Now, back to the salt mines is a very common idiom used in the workplace. Well, it means that in a very humorous way or in a very funny way, it means that, okay, let's get back to the work, okay? Or let's get back to the grin. So maybe you are in a cafeteria chit-chatting with your friends and your colleagues, or you know, it's your lunch hour. And now that the lunch hour is finished, you have to get back to work. So you can always use this idiom that, oh, it's time for us to get back to the salt mine. So it's a very funny way to say that let's get back to the work. All right. Then we have a blue-collar worker. This is a slang that is usually used for a person who is into a lot of manual labor. Maybe the person is into mining or construction, or maybe the person is in working at the oil fields. Okay, so basically a lot of manual labor. So we also have white-collar workers and we also have pink-collar workers. But mainly the blue-collar workers are the people who are into a lot of manual labor. And just for your information, a white-collar worker is a person who has a very nice executive desk job. And whereas a pink-collar worker is a person whose work involves a lot of you know, customer interaction, or they're into entertainment or sales. So those are the pink-collared workers. Okay, so this is a slang commonly used when you belong to a corporate world. Then we have a slang, dead wood. Now, dead wood literally means the dead parts of a tree, but in the corporate world, it means a person who is good for nothing, like he is completely useless, okay? It doesn't make any profits or is not helpful when it comes to work. So basically, he's good for nothing. Okay, so maybe if you have to use this word, well, you can say, well, I believe John is a complete deadwood for the company. He should be axed. So this means he should be fired, okay? So just because he is completely useless, okay? Then another one that we have is bust one's buns. Well, it sounds a little funny, but what exactly it means is to work really hard, okay? So rather than saying that, oh, I am so tired because I worked really hard, well, it's a nice way of saying that I have busted my buns for the entire week on this project. Okay, so this means that you have worked really hard on this project for the entire week. Okay, so these are some common idioms and slangs that are used at workplace. Let's have a look at some more that would help you. Now here are some more slangs and idioms for you. We have bumped up. Now to get bumped up means to get promoted or also to get an increment. This means a raise in your salary. Okay, so if you have to use this slang, then you can say, oh, well, I got bumped up to vice president. So this means I have got promoted to vice president. Or if you want to say that you got an increment, okay, you got a salary raise, then you can always say, oh, well, congratulate me. I got bumped up, so now I can afford a nice car for myself, okay? Then another one that we have is carve out a niche. Now to carve out a niche means to build or to focus on a very niche segment, okay, and build expertise where maybe not all are good at it or maybe nobody is good at it, but you have focused on that segment and built your own expertise, okay? So that's what we mean by carving out a niche. Okay, so maybe you have worked on a project, then you have done an excellent job on it, and not everybody could have done it, or very few could have done it, then you can always say, well, I have carved out a niche for myself, okay? So this is how you can use this idiom. Then we have desk jockey. Well, it sounds pretty interesting, desk jockey, but what exactly it means is a desk jockey is a person who is always stuck on his desk, okay? There's no activity, he doesn't go for any field work or, you know, he doesn't move around at all. He's always stuck to his desk or on his computer, okay, all day long. So that's what we call, oh, he is such a desk jockey. Well, he's always stuck to his computer, okay? Or maybe I am too tired of being a desk jockey. I think I need to get a new job for myself. Okay, so that's what a desk jockey means. A person who's always stuck to the desk. All right. Then we have dog eat dog world. Well, this is a very, very common idiom used in the corporate world. Well, we all know that the corporate world is extremely competitive. So that's why this idiom is commonly, or this expression is commonly used, that it's a dog eat dog world. This means one has to be extremely aggressive and, of course, very smart to survive in this competitive world. That is the dog eat dog world. So where does this reference of the word dog comes from? Well, let me explain it to you. Now, if you serve a bowl of food to many dogs, okay, there are almost like, say, 6 dogs, okay, and you serve one big bowl of food to them, well, of course, the next step for these dogs would be to pounce at the bowl, okay, and just grab whatever they can, okay. Now, if one of the dogs are really nice and very sweet and decent, and he doesn't go ahead and pounce on that bowl to eat, well, what would be the result? Well, he would have no food for himself, isn't it? So that's what this phrase or this idiom comes from. That is the dog eat dog world. So basically, the corporate world is so competitive that to survive, okay, it is important to work hard and to be really smart, okay? Now let's have a look at another one here. Don't make waves. Now, don't make waves. It is a very negative idiom. Well, it means that don't make trouble. Okay, if someone says that to you, make sure you know it that, okay, this person is being a little negative about this, okay? So don't make any trouble or don't make any difficulties. So for example, you are a new person, okay, in the company, and your colleague comes to you and says, hey, you are working on this project with me, but make sure you don't make any waves. So this means make sure you don't create any difficulties. So he's being a little negative, okay, and a little rude, okay? Okay, so this means that don't make any trouble or don't make any difficulties, right? And the last one that we have for you is fly-by-night operations. Now, fly-by-night operations means a company which is not reliable, okay? Maybe the company tries to make quick profit, but is definitely not reliable, okay? So there are so many companies as such, and such companies, we call them as fly-by-night operations. So for example, if you are buying a product and someone comes and tells you, hey, look, don't buy any products from that company because that company is one of those fly-by-night operations. So basically they make this quick buck, and but they're totally unreliable. Maybe for the quality or maybe for the way they work, okay, but they are unreliable, they are dishonest, okay? So these are some idioms. We have lots of idioms for you, which we will cover it up in one of our more lessons, okay? I'll be back with a new lesson soon. You take care and have a great day.